We're back on OpenLine talking about the billionaire tax, a way to raise money, get some revenue into Washington. What do you think about it? We've got calls coming in. Our guest, Dr. Beverly Moran, is with us from Vanderbilt, and I already feel like we're this is the final segment, and we could talk about this for hours and hours. It's so interesting to me. Anyway, to our viewers too, and one of those who's interested is Donna. Hi, Donna. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. What's on your mind?
I'm calling because I get Social Security, and all of my money goes on bills. I mean, every penny of my check. And, you know, I just don't understand why everything is so high for people like me. Maybe I can buy food, maybe I can't. You know,
Donna,
barely can buy.
Let me ask, sorry to interrupt you. May I ask your age?
I'm 64 years old.
64. And you said most of the Social Security money income that you're receiving goes to pay your bills?
Yes, sir.
Pay all the bills. So you've paid into this. You worked, I assume, during your life, or a spouse did, paid into the Social Security system, paid the tax, and now you're receiving the benefits, but it's just not, it's not doing anything, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I tried to apply for food stamps, and they saying that I make too much money. But how can you make too much money when all your money is going out?
Right.
So, you know, I had a car. I had to get rid of it because they stopped making the parts for the car. So I had to buy another car. So I drive myself back and forth to the doctor. Okay. And, you know, when you have a car, you have to have car insurance. So once I pay all of that, I promise you, I have like about $74 left out of my check to be able to buy food, supplies for the house, gas, because my car note is high. My car insurance is high from my neighborhood. But all the taxes I'm paying, I don't see none of it being put back over in this neighborhood. Everywhere else in Nashville, it's getting built up. And my neighborhood is very dangerous. You know, you can't get sleep, and nothing is happening. Everybody keep promising that this gonna get better, that's gonna get better, but I'm like living in a nightmare.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Donna, let's listen to Dr. Moran. I mean, this is a common issue in news we hear about marginalized communities. We could go on and on and on. And obviously, a lot of folks in Washington would hope that a bill like the one being proposed is at least a start to start, sending some investments into these communities. What do you think, Doctor?
Well, that's the idea. I guess I'm a little cynical. I'm not sure that it will come to fruition. Right. But the idea is, if we have strong public transportation, then Miss Donna doesn't need to have an expensive car and expensive insurance. I mean, when I lived in Vermont, for example, the state was a high tax state, but if you needed to go to the doctor, you could call up the county, and they would send a car to pick you up. So rather than your tax, your money going for having a car on your own,
that's another expense that someone can save on, and there's this kind of network of social services that's actually effective and working for some people, and exactly.
But what Ms. Donna is saying is that none of it is working for her because she's not safe in her neighborhood, and she doesn't have the funds that she needs.
Right, and obviously the amount that she's receiving in Social Security has not been adjusted based on what's happening economically, or maybe based on what's happening within her area too, right?
That exactly. And all these things need to be addressed, but they can't be addressed so long as the country keeps running on a deficit. Yeah. And that's why there's this need to raise revenues.
Sure.
And that's why some politicians are looking to people can afford to pay.
Yeah. All right, let's go quickly. We just got a couple of minutes in this segment, and I will let Drew on the line. Hey, Drew, we just got a couple of minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple of points to make. Senator Sinema from Arizona and Senator Manchin from West Virginia think that the rich shouldn't pay any more taxes. For that, I think they should be asked to leave the Democratic Party. This board deal coming up. I think that Governor Lee will probably sign off on it, but if it blows up on everybody's faces, he'll be long gone out of office taking responsibility for it.
All right. Thank you so much, Drew. We appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of push and pull in the Democratic Party. Senator Manchin, I've heard his concern, he says, is the price tag, given that we have this deficit. He doesn't want to add to that. So there's a big push and pull politically, right?
Yeah, there is. But sooner or later, something has to break.
Right.
I mean, we have a lot of homeless people in Nashville, but you don't want to see what's going on in Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually terrifying. And to think that so many of those people are veterans, I mean, who risk their lives for us, and yet we're allowing them to live on the streets. Something has to happen for that too.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to monitor what's happening in Washington. Do you think, though, that at some point it will be possible to kind of come to a compromise as far as the tax bills go and increasing revenue to close some of these loopholes and to get the wealthiest of Americans to pay a little more?
I mean, I would say no. I mean, when Drew was saying that Senators Manchin and Sinema need to be driven out of the Democratic Party, if they go to the Republican Party, that bill is dead. That Build Back Better is dead on arrival.
Yeah.
So, and if they stay in the Democratic Party, then the bill is going to be tightly controlled by them.
Yeah, and diluted.
Yes, but I do think that, my bet is President Biden wants the win.
Yeah.
So he'll make sure that he gets the win.
Well, we will continue to follow it, and I hope sometime soon we can have you back to continue this discussion. It's fascinating. We barely scratch the surface because there's so many layers to it and all, but we really appreciate your expertise. We appreciate you spending time with us. Thank you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed myself.
All right. Thank you. Have a great night, Doc, and we will come right back here on Open Line. I'll wrap things up right after this.